Welcome to the Business of Beauty, where we help beauty entrepreneurs in building their business and reaching their dreams. This is your host, David Lee. Our guest today is a self-made entrepreneur. She built 3 businesses without any financial help, 2 lash and brow salons, and an online beauty course business to empower women to build their own beauty business. She is excited to grow in the digital space and reach students all over the world. Her superpower is to never settle or stop growing. Welcome to the show, Jazzie Craig at Xinbeaute.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm really glad to have you on, especially with your wealth of knowledge of building your salons, and now you have this course specialized in helping other beauty entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So where should we start? Let's start with where you're at today. How's that? And then we can go back in time and then forward. How's that?
Yeah, well, it's funny because, when you first reached out to me, I was really excited to, come on this show. I love what you guys are doing. And things have just changed, quite dramatically from a month ago to now. So pretty much we're weathering the storm. It's affected beauty professionals all over, the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we've chosen to do during this time is to really just dig in deep and build our online platform even bigger with courses and, reaching out to students digitally.
Yeah. Now, did you have this online course program prior to essentially the world lockdown?
Actually, fortunately, yeah, we already had the ball rolling. We had produced a course, launched it last summer.
Nice.
And it was doing really well. And during the lockdown, we started offering a course for free so that, people can go online and learn from home. Nice. And try to make the most of, the time in lockdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had already created the course.
Nice. And during this time, now, are you still operating your lash and brow salons?
We are located in Los Angeles, California. So currently we are not allowed to operate. It's pretty rough, but at the same time, our clients are really passionate about us and about our services and about their own beauty.
Yeah.
And so they are kind of just waiting in line, just waiting for that moment when they can come back again.
Nice. So tell us a little bit more on your course programs. So what do they specialize in? Is there a particular industry or niche that you focus on in your courses?
Well, so our first course is a course on classic lash extensions.
Okay.
So it's something that we created to be a totally comprehensive 32 video course that allows students to learn remotely from wherever they are, and they send pictures of their work and they're able to get feedback and guidance from us, via online.
Okay.
The next course we're going to be launching is for people who are already working in the beauty industry.
Okay.
So that could be hairstylists, it could be brow technicians, lash technicians, anybody who has any type of experience in as a beauty professional can learn how to turn their expertise into a course and sell it. As we have.
Okay. So your first course is more technical, essentially, right? It's like, this is how you put a lash on and do extensions. So all technical pieces. So, and the second piece is teaching others put together their own program with their technical skill sets in the
because it's been really lucrative for us. And I think that a lot of beauty professionals at this time would love to just be able to share their knowledge too. And so like I said, we had some success with it. In the future, I would like to maybe go a bit deeper into private labeling and how we designed our products and sell them on Amazon. I've got a ton of ideas. So
nice. Now, how did you transition or get to come up with the idea of, let's teach others how to build their own program?
Well, I think, again, just having experienced how much fun we had when we built this, it did take a while to be able to learn, email marketing and how to really get the program out there and promote it. But the journey itself was really fun. And a lot of my peers and friends in the beauty industry were asking me, hey, how did you do that? I want to do something similar.
Yeah.
And so that's what, kind of led us to, think about maybe creating something for people who are already, successful and already have, established beauty careers.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. So you notice like an uptick now, especially when they're at home, like, oh my God, my salon's closed, or, my beauty business is closed right now. And I don't know what my client base will look like and what the new world's going to look like. So are they a lot more interested now with building their online program or their course programs?
Yeah, definitely. There's been a lot of interest. Surprisingly, we have a lot of students internationally. There's a good amount of US subscribers to the program, but also London, South Africa, we get a lot of students from those two areas. So it's been really interesting just to see the reach that the online training has had. And I'm excited to launch the second one.
I'm curious, do you have like a theory on, why London, why South Africa? Like is so random, right?
I mean, it's interesting. I want to say they're English speaking countries, right? So those are some of the other ones that would be able to, understand and take the course, which is offered in English.
Yeah.
And really, I don't know. I'll have to, I do stay in really close contact with my students. Like I take them through, the whole course. So it's not just kind of a, you're on your own type of thing. I really do.
It's guided, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's totally guided. And so I'll definitely have to, do a little survey afterwards and kind of find out, their motivation and their.
I'm just curious, I was wondering, like, did you market in the UK or in London, or did you, do more advertising in South Africa to get these opportunities, or is it more organically they found you, I don't know, on social media, on your website, like?
Yeah, it always starts out building organically.
Organically.
Yeah, it always starts out organically, and then you just kind of lean into, groups or communities that you feel like are really responding to your content. So. I'm a total digital marketing novice. I didn't come into it with any experience or like as an expert at all. And so that's one of the things that we do cover in the course as well, is like teaching people how to make ads and just, really harness that power, because it's just really powerful, how many people you can reach. Yeah,
very cool. So can we dive a little deeper into like the course itself? So how is it sectioned up? How long is it? What is the, the pricing on it? A little more details on that.
Yeah. Do you want to know about the lash course or about the upcoming course for beauty professionals?
How about let's talk about the beauty professional side.
Okay. I have to get my outline then for that one.
Okay. All right. No problem.
All right.
All right.
So this one is being built as we speak. So
nice. Do we have a release date?
A release date? Yeah, I'm gonna say probably June 15th. Yeah.
Okay.
So in about a month.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's 4 parts.
Okay.
And it's basically how to create an online course for beauty professionals. So like I said earlier, anyone who does hair, if you do nails, if you do a specific kind of art like henna, could really be for anyone.
Okay.
So part 1 would be how to structure your online course, building your first course or series, how to build a course outline.
Yeah.
Part 2 is producing your content. So you have to have a quality production value. I think that's really important. And so just what cameras to use, who can do video editing for you, whether or not you should consider doing the editing yourself based on cost, based on your budget, producing a training manual to accompany the videos, and where to host the courses.
Nice.
Part 3 is all about marketing, really super important. And part 4 is just resources that I'm basically sharing. So maybe you know something about this, having your own show. There's so much that you have to go out and learn and figure out on your own
For sure.
And
Like, you know, I can definitely like add a few pointers on that one. Like the show right now, what we're doing is the easiest part. It's the preparation to get to this point, right? Finding amazing guests like yourself, but also the after, you know, the work that's the post-production work. And
yeah.
it all comes together. And yeah, it's this piece right here. I mean, it's only 30 minutes, but it really takes a few, you know, many hours. And it's not just me doing it to create this, to make this happen. So
Well, I mean, I think you're fantastic just at this. Obviously, I don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes, but I was super excited when you DM'd me. I was like,
yeah.
Yay! So,
Yeah.
and also a lot of the guests that you have are real, like something to learn from all of them. So,
yeah, thank you. And that's what we hope to provide and share that knowledge. So yeah, that's awesome. The outline. So how long does it take your 4-part, your program? Is it self-paced, or do you basically release it on a weekly schedule or a daily schedule? How does that work?
I think we'll probably just give access to the entire course.
Okay.
I think the real effort is going to come from, you know, the student and really executing each of the steps.
Yeah.
But I truly try to give like everything I have, because I have, we've been in business for 4 years, but I've been on this online business journey for about 1.5 years now.
Okay.
And so like I said, I try to give like all the resources that I know of, video editors, platforms that I've used that maybe weren't so successful, that they, you know, just tell them, hey, you know, you guys can, you know, try to avoid these or avoid wasting time. It really saves time. And so I think that's why courses are great, because you can learn from people who've already done it. And just kind of walks you through like,
yeah, you can learn from others' mistakes and their, you know, their success. And, you know, I look at that, and also in my business, in the business that I've built, and also other guests I've talked to, they're like, yeah, I wish I learned so much more, prepared more so to get my business up and running. And of course, you know, we all make mistakes. It's bound to happen, but the big difference is being able to get back up and keep going. Right?
Yeah, that's a huge part of it.
So how long does you would say, how many hours, or how long do you think a student will need to spend to complete your course?
Completing the course, I would say you could complete the course in a matter of a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And you can continue to refer back to it as you're going through each of the steps. And, you know, if you encounter those bumps in the road, you can kind of refer back to it and say, okay, hey, I remember she had a chapter on, you know, creating Facebook group for your course, or for your, you know, creating a social media page. I remember she had a chapter about how to make an ad. So as you go along in the process, you can constantly sort of defer back to the course, and hopefully just continue to get something out of it. Because I know courses that I've purchased online, I still have them, and I still refer to them all the time.
For sure. Now, so I'm gonna ask you some marketing questions, okay? Like how you're like, but more so for your business, and how you know, you look at this now. How, when you first looked at that, okay, so there's a lot of different courses online already, right? You can Google it, you're like, hey, I want to learn more about beauty. And of course, there's the biggest video website in the world, YouTube, right? So there's YouTube, right? They can just Google something or YouTube something, and they're going to figure it out. They're going to get all that information. So how do you differentiate yourself, your business, your online, you know, marketing program, course program, to the rest of the world?
Well, so I'm glad you brought up YouTube, because I do have a YouTube channel, and that's one of the ways that I try to do marketing, is by creating videos that are, you know, business related, beauty related, and even I'll do videos that are really informational. I'll do videos on YouTube that tell people the what and the why of what they need to do. But they need to buy the course to get the how. So they need to get the course to really find out the details and the deliberate, specific steps that they need to take. But I give away a ton of free information on my YouTube channel, so they can check that out too.
Nice. And we'll be sure to add that into our resource links or our show notes. So cool. That's cool. The way I see it is with course material, its structured approach is delivered on a more structured program, where YouTube, they're just individual videos. So you're jumping, you're bouncing back and forth. Sure, if you need to know one aspect of certain things, it's easier on YouTube. But if you want to know like the whole gambit, just kind of get a fuller picture, but also then go in order. And sometimes the order is important. It's like cooking. There's certain things that you have to prep first before you can actually cook, right?
100%.
So having a course is a more structured approach. So that's very cool.
It's more structured, it's more complete, and you can like you said, you'll get the tip of the iceberg on YouTube. You'll find a lot of people doing a lot of different things, but in order to really go deep, if you truly want to learn something, you should take a course.
So do you have any tips and pointers from your show or from your course, that you could share with our audience?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say, really just focus on like your area of expertise. And if you can share that with people, that's what, the course is designed to help you do. Also, don't get ahead of yourself. Not everybody's in a place where they're ready to create an online course. And so I would just say, especially because I have a ton of students that are just starting out, I would say master your craft first. And really focus on that, because mastering the craft itself isn't something you can skim over. Spend 1, 2, 3, 4, however many years, once you've come up against every single obstacle and challenge within your field, then you can move on. Then you can, start to try to teach and to share the information. But I definitely would say, I definitely would emphasize like just mastery, like mastering your skill set.
Okay, I love
first
that.
And foremost.
Yeah. So know your stuff first before you start,
before you build a course,
do your YouTube videos or build your course programs, and try, do not do the, I'm learning. So you're like teaching on one hand and you have a book on the other hand trying to learn.
Yeah.
That doesn't quite work out very well. Right? Yeah. And plus I would think it's hard enough trying to build this new business, right? This online course program, let alone trying to learn the technical pieces of it.
Right. Yeah. It's a whole other layer. But it is exciting, and there's a lot to look forward to, whatever level you're at in the beauty industry. There's levels, you don't just have to be a lash technician. You don't just have to do nails, there's so much more you can do. And I just want to be an example of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Now the ramp up period, like how long, and I know this is a tough question, and it really depends, but from your viewpoint, how long does it take, or what is required for the individual or that entrepreneur to be successful with, after going through your program?
Okay, so I'm going to answer this in regards to either program, because I don't just want to speak to, professionals. I want to speak to people who are just getting started. Yeah. Regardless of where you fall on that spectrum. Yeah. I would say, you said what was the main piece of advice I would give them?
Basically how they would be, how long it would take for an individual to be successful. Let's say, they go through your course and they start their online course. When would they get their first dollar, right? When would they be able to kind of build up their customer base and hit that 6 figures, right? That magical number everyone talks about.
Yeah,
you're gonna
that
make
magic number,
income, right? So again, what do you think in your viewpoint?
I think that you have to be really focused, the more you can eliminate different distractions that you have going on in your life, the easier it will be for you to not only learn a new skill, but excel in it. And then you do need to look out for that positive feedback. You know, are your clients loving what you're doing? You know, is your business growing? Is your clientele growing? And as you see that growth, you'll be able to sort of gauge and measure, you know, the next steps or the next investments that you want to make. Because of course, you know, courses cost money, classes cost money, supplies cost money. And so you need to be able to sort of work your way up. You don't have to do everything all at once. But I think you'll start to know when you get that positive feedback from clients and from subscribers or followers or whatever it might be. And it's a process. Be patient. I would say definitely it's not going to happen in 30 days, right? You might have
over 30 days for sure.
More than 30 days, more than 30 days, but absolutely within 90 days, you know, you're going to see with complete and total focus, you're going to see changes start to happen. You're going to start getting money coming in. And it's definitely something that, I mean, the internet works like quickly, you know.
Yes, so. For sure. And I just want to emphasize, because I remember when I first started my first business, I would talk to other entrepreneurs and mentors, and you know, they would share how hard it is, but it didn't really hit home until I started. Okay, so can we define how, like when you say, okay, really work hard, right? What do you mean? Do you mean, okay, like a full-time job? I think that's something that someone can compare this to. Like, oh yeah, just working 40 hours a week, spending 8 hours a day on it. Is that what you mean by working hard?
You're going to get whatever you put into it. So if you have a full-time job and you only have a few hours each night to go in and learn and just even start the process of learning, then, you know, you can grow it in a more gradual way. If you're ready to go all in, if you're ready to jump in, which I recommend doing, if you're ready to do that, you're going to see things turn around for you a lot quicker. You're going to see your clientele grow a lot quicker because people know you're available. They know you're accessible, and just opening yourself up in that way and letting clients and people know that you're there for them is going to accelerate your growth.
Okay, I love it. Yeah, so you're saying watching the courses on my couch won't magically turn me into build me a 6-figure income business, right?
No.
Right? So you gotta put in the work beyond just the course.
You gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the work, and it's all about mindset too. I talk about mindset a lot on my YouTube channel because, you know, if you're still thinking in the same old way, but you're trying to have all these breakthroughs and make more money and do X, Y, and Z, you're not going to be able to do that from thinking and behaving the way that you used to. So you're probably going to have to, I would say, like cut out some things, right? Maybe for you, that's like watching too much Netflix or, you know, whatever it might be. But really giving yourself like that space to make room for a new, you know, for something new to blossom in your life, really blossom, not just, you know, superficially.
And I love what you mentioned on, like, you know, the viewpoint, changing your, really like your mindset. Like also there's a big difference with working for someone and you know, building your own business as an entrepreneur. So there's that shift too in mindset. You know, now you're pretty much on your own, but you have to figure out, and you build what your own limits are. You have no one telling you what the limits are,
right?
Or what to do. So very cool. Now let's take a step back into history. Okay, let's go back in time. Now, the build up all the way to this point. So how did you get started in this industry?
Well, the funny thing was, I didn't know that I was going to have success in this industry. To be honest, I was coming out of a tough spot in my life. I was kind of all over the place. I hadn't experienced, you know, really happiness or success in any of the other jobs that I had had previously. And so this was just sort of something I wanted to try out and let's see. And so I got licensed as an esthetician, started working as a lash artist. And then within a year, my clients just were so, excited about what I was doing and loved it so much that I felt like I had enough support to really go out and rent a space and say, everyone, hey, come over here. Like we're open for business.
Yeah.
And it just like grew from there. It was just like more and more people.
Yeah.
And I will say it's because I really tried to give like the absolute best customer service. Like that's like super important. Like service and serving others is huge. And so I think that part, the growth was pretty fast because I was just like, I just knew
that's
what
quite
I
impressive. Like when you said in 1 year's time,
less than a year,
less than a
9
year,
months.
you started your own. You went off on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit more on that experience? Like, what was it like looking for a space, figuring out where to go, and was it scary at that point, like emotionally? Like, what was going through your mind during that process?
Yeah, I think the scary part had already passed for me because at this point I was just so excited about what I was doing that it felt very easy. And that doesn't mean that the first place I went to look at, I got, I got, my credit was like, okay. So there was a few places that like passed that, said no, thank you, because, I looked high risk or something. But I ended up finding a beautiful space. Nice. And it just fit, I fit into the landscape there in, El Segundo in LA. And so eventually someone's going to give you a shot. Somebody's going to open up that door. And, don't question where the opportunity comes from, just roll with it. You might have thought things were going to go this way and they end up going this way, but just, trust that.
Yeah. That's very cool. And so now you started building that business, and I guess when was this? In 2000?
So this was we opened our salon in 2017.
Okay.
And then last year, a year ago, we opened a second location in Brentwood. That was a bit more of a gamble, but I felt like the first salon was doing so well that I felt like I just wanted to grow. I was like, win or lose, I really want to grow and see what happens.
Okay. You're a risk taker.
I'm comfortable with uncertainty.
Yeah. Calculated risk, right? That's what a good entrepreneur does, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah. So we opened up the second one and ball's been rolling ever since. Yeah.
Nice. Now, obviously you can't be in two places at once. Right?
Correct.
Unless you have this magical machine that I don't know of, right? How did you manage two locations? How do you keep them operational?
Oh, I see. You want to know like the real story.
Okay. The real, it's the juicy stuff.
It was hard. It was really hard because you have to, what do they call it? You do like multiply yourself.
You
clone yourself.
Yes, clone yourself. Yes.
Clone yourself. Yeah, like
scale, right?
Yeah. Just like clone like myself like 3, 4, 5 times over, but it doesn't work like that. So even though I had like really talented artists, working with me, just the idea for some of my clients, what do you mean Jazzie's not going to be here? Like, no, I need Jazzie.
I only want her, right?
She's my girl. She does my lashes. And so I was, I would try to finesse them into, trying someone new or offering incentives and discounts and things like that, just so that I could free up some of my time to go and grow this other space. And even both of these spaces, they're not far apart. They're both within Los Angeles County. It was still like a challenge to try to be in two places at once and have both places like flourishing, mind you, like not just have one kind of floating off. But I forgot the question.
So you had to hire more people, right?
Yes.
To kind of essentially be your your mini Jazzies, right? but
Sure.
but essentially being able to do what you do, and also like the way I look at it is like my staff, I want them to be better than me, right? And which they are, because they end up spending a lot of time in that area, and they do things 10 times better than I do. But then you mentioned the hard part was to convince your customers, right, to say, you know what, I want to use your other,
well, and anyone that came, any new clients that came in, obviously they were able to build these fresh new relationships with new technicians. And so
but your
that's
old
always,
customers.
But my old customers were very attached to me. And some of them, some of them even got, their feelings hurt. They felt like I was, abandoning them. So there always is going to be, whenever you're trying to grow, there's going to be like a few losses along the way. There's going to be some sacrifices. Like I really love every single one of my clients, but I was like, I need to grow.
You need to grow. You need to do what's best for your business and for your future and your growth and your career, right? So now how long did it take for that transition? Like what did you have to go through to kind of go through? Was that like a 3-month process? Boom, done. Hired a few people, started building the business, sent out an email blast to all your customers, and done. I'm out of here.
You have to do a lot of discounts, a lot of freebies, a lot of Groupon, Yelp deals, just really utilize a lot of the platforms just to make noise about your business. And I mean, if anyone is daring enough to, open up a business or
especially in this time, right?
Well, this time I can't even speak to, because this is totally
crazy.
Unprecedented. But be prepared to take a little bit of losses in the beginning. If if your vision, you can see further into the future and kind of know that that it will build. People naturally tell people about things that they love, and if they love their lashes, if they love their hair, if they love your business, they're gonna tell people about it, and it will. It's almost inevitable. It will grow. So just, I guess I would say, don't give up.
Yeah, very cool. Now, you mentioned that you tried Groupon. I've heard other stories where like Groupon was the worst thing for our business. It was so cheap, it devalued our services. And then most of them just tried it and then went on to another Groupon deal somewhere else. So what was your experience with something like Groupon?
Here's my experience with Groupon. Believe it or not, the clients we got from Groupon, lovely, right? They're not, nice. I kind of expected the same thing,
like
as far as
shoppers, right?
Bargain shoppers, they're just going to come in, get this raging discount and keep it moving. But I think a lot of people, even people who use Groupon, do want to kind of find a home, and they want to find that place to call their own and to frequent. So great people came from the promotion. Groupon, the platform itself, of course, I don't support, Groupon keeping 50% of an already discounted service. And then they do these wild, like Super Tuesday promos where they'll offer, hey, eyelash extension set for $7. And they're discounting your services without your permission.
Wow. I didn't know that.
It's I mean, but so hopefully, ideally, you would have, other clients coming from elsewhere in addition to Groupon. It's totally unsustainable to just build a business on Groupon, because you'll be just, running in circles.
Was it a sticker shock after the customer received their Groupon deal? Now they're paying full price for the second session or the third session?
I think if they're willing to come back, they understand that, things cost money, and
that's good.
And like I said, a lot of them stuck around. Like we had a really good retention rate from people that found us through Groupon. Sometimes they're just looking for something new to try.
Oh, yeah, nice. That's good to hear. So there are good stories for Groupon. It's not all bad. So now, I just want to thank you so much for kind of sharing your journey. It really shows your expertise, your experience, and pretty much all the battle scars, right, you went through to get to the point of building the online course, focusing on lashes, right? And then
Yes.
that's the technical course that you have already. So if anyone's
Right.
interested in learning, it's there, readily available. And you said
Yes.
is it in June or July?
In June, we're launching the online course building for beauty professionals.
Yep. So building your own online course,
Correct.
right, for beauty professional. So that will be coming soon. Now, let's talk about the future. Where do you see the rest of 2020 and the next 3-5 years to come?
I'm really, really laser focused on building our online courses and building our online business.
Yeah.
And really reaching a really broad network of women or men, I suppose, who want to learn and want to expand their businesses. I want to help women build businesses. That's kind of what it is. That's like exciting for me. I feel like that's definitely the future where I see things going.
Now, let me ask you about the future of salons, right? And I have my own take on it, and it's kind of scary, from what I'm seeing. And of all the businesses, I think salons are the last place that's going to be opened up from all the lockdown. It's kind of scary from what I'm reading and hearing from the news, right? It's like, oh, it's not essential, and it's because there's so much human contact, right? It's hard to do social distancing with that. But I'm curious to hear from your viewpoint from a professional owning 2 salons. Like, what's going to happen? When do you think you'll be able to open up doors again? And also maybe they need to modify their business operations, right? Their processes, or how they deliver service in general.
Well, certainly California and New York are going to have this a little bit more extreme circumstances. I'm here in Dallas.
Michigan too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Dallas, Texas right now, and they're easing up like a lot. So Dallas is reopening. Eventually, everyone will get to that place where things start to reopen. Our customers want to come back. Our customers still want their nails done, still want to look good, still want to feel good, especially in tough times. Like, people don't want to feel like crappy and look crappy, so it's definitely a self-care is essential. And so I think, but like all of us, I don't know. I have days where I do feel nervous. I do feel scared. You're sort of at the mercy of, whether or not, the property managers want to work with you, want to accommodate you. And so I think it's been tough, but one thing I know for sure is that there's not going to be any less demand for what we do.
Okay. So that's good. Demand will be there. It's just being able to operate, right? And I mean, we do everything as far as sanitization. I wear a mask every day anyway. I've always done that. And so, absolutely, having those, following those procedures. Do you envision like the businesses now, the salons are wearing like almost like full hazmat suits, or at least like a shield or something, like line boundaries from each other? Do you foresee salons changing their layout, or even limiting how many people can be in? I know some salons that are starting to open up in different states, they're limiting how many people can be in the location at a time, or maybe scheduled only.
I can't say. I really don't know the answer to that. I know that when you're having close contact, physical contact, it sort of is what it is. And so I don't know that we'll be able to completely, avoid or pretend as if,
it never happened, right?
That there's no, risk or, it's a very real thing.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. What happens.
Okay.
Definitely higher people at higher risk for, for that would maybe, they'd have something to really, they'd want to be careful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So right now, really, to sum it up, it's just waiting to see, what the world's going to do, what the government's going to do, and then kind of roll with the punches, right?
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Yeah. So thank you for all your time.
Thank you.
Do you have any final bit of advice to all the future entrepreneurs or current beauty entrepreneurs out there that could be really helpful for them?
I would say no matter where you're at, if there's something that you want to do, that you want to learn, that you've thought about trying, that maybe you spent, months or years watching someone else do it.
Yeah.
Go for it. You can do it too. Find mentors, find, get the information, get the skills,
Yeah.
and go for it. Because life's short, and I think we all have, goals and things we want to do. And so I just say go for that.
Love it. Thank you. And how can our audience, our viewers reach you?
Well, our courses are going to be hosted at beautybusinessmastery.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Jazzie M. Craig, our YouTube, Jazzie M. Craig. We also have an Instagram for business and for our courses, which is at Xinbeaute. And yeah, follow me, keep up with me. I want to help you guys. Anybody who is interested in taking our courses or just asking questions, we're here.
Nice. Thank you. And for those that didn't catch all that, don't forget our information will be in the reference area and in the descriptions. So don't worry there. And again, thank you so much for your time. And
thank you, David.
No problem. Yeah. And I hope everyone enjoyed the show. See ya. Bye-bye.